Now, let's go to Nashville, where the lights are bright and the music shines through, to meet someone who's a star in more ways than one. He's Damien Horne, the nominee of Teresa Loving, Executive Director of the SOAR Academy, and a former Hine recipient herself. Damien is a singer, a performer, and a strong and constant voice for children. Damien, it seems, has always been on the road. Once it was as a teenage runaway, running from poverty, then finding himself and returning home. Now it's as a singer-songwriter, constantly on tour, in part to support his rising career, but even more, to help kids who are at risk the way he once was. Damien was born in the factory town of Hickory, North Carolina, one of 12 children. He found happiness in the Boys and Girls Club and singing in the Salvation Army. But at the age of 18, he fled to Hollywood with big dreams, but little savings. When he found himself homeless, a Covenant House, California shelter offered him a place to stay and real support to find work. Those difficult times helped him grow, spiritually, he says. He came home to North Carolina and took jobs involving kids, driving the school bus, working at after-school programs, anything to help kids, especially those at risk. In 2002, he moved to Nashville, again to pursue a singing career. This time, he caught the ear of country star John Rich, who invited him to join Music Mafia, a group devoted to bringing together musicians regardless of race, religion, or genre. Since then, Damien's career has really taken off. But what matters as much or more to him is the work that he does for children and youth, whether through free concerts, joining with other musicians in raising money for causes, or simply speaking to kids about his own experience. Damien performs regularly at the Salvation Army youth rallies throughout the South, as well as annually at the SOAR Academy, the special needs school in South Carolina. He's the national spokesperson and a frequent performer for Concerts for a Cause, a Louisville-based nonprofit that puts on shows for hospitalized or terminally ill children. He once walked 300 miles from Charlotte to Georgia, performing along the way to help raise money to buy shoes for children in need. And along with fellow musicians and a Boston-based nonprofit, he helped sponsor the first ever girls' schools in Acon, a village in Sudan. For his kids' first approach to life, for always spreading hope to young people who often have little, for devoting so much of his considerable talent to the cause of young people, and for bringing harmony where disharmony is so common. We are pleased tonight to honor Damien Horne with the 2011 Lewis Hines Award for Volunteer Service to Children in Need.
I just want to thank everyone for coming out, and I'm definitely honored to be on the stage with all these people, and I just feel more like a representative. There's so many people out there who do so many great things who don't get recognized, and I just thank the National Child Labor Committee for recognizing that, and hi to my mom.
Congratulations, Damien, and thank you so much for your commitment to kids. Now, let's move on to our final recipient this evening. Last, but certainly not least, is Terrie Rose, the nominee of Jeff Warbolowski, the co-chief executive of Houlihan Lokey in Minneapolis. Even as a kid growing up in Denver, Terrie was interested in helping children. I was always the babysitter and the neighborhood organizer, she recalls. I was the one doing the Ronald McDonald carnivals. Her interest only intensified in adulthood. Terrie got a BA in child study and then a PhD, but she wasn't content with research, not given the burden she saw facing parents in the impoverished Phillips neighborhood of Minneapolis, home to one of the largest Native American urban populations in the country. I was working at a program serving women using drugs and alcohol during pregnancy, she says, trying to help improve their parenting. But there were absolutely no child care centers anywhere around. So Terrie did what comes naturally to her. She created one. With the help of the University of Minnesota, Terrie founded Baby Space. Baby Space reflects children's best interests, from a very child-friendly decor to the way the staff are trained to help kids develop at their own pace. Mental health services are also offered on site, and a related school, Tatanka Academy, offers kindergarten through third grade classes in a small, supportive setting. And Baby Space works. In 2010, all of Tatanka kindergartners, most of whom started there as infants or toddlers, met or exceeded the Minneapolis Public Schools assessment. Now other communities are planning to replicate the Baby Space model. Terrie says it succeeds because it makes sense, not just to planners, but to children and families. She often tells a story about a little girl who first came to Baby Space as an infant and is now a kindergartner. Her parents have crippling drug habits, so she's in the custody of her grandmother. One day, she told Terrie that she missed her father, and because Terrie knows the entire family, she was able to reassure that girl that her father still loves her, even when he's absent. That's the power of a model that's relationship-based, says Terrie. This little girl's grandma will tell you that the kids that have grown up at Baby Space, and we've been there the most consistent people and place across all the changes in their family. For using her strength to create and execute talents to help the youngest children grow and develop in a healthy environment, for treating all children as if they were her own, for developing a service that reaches the needs of hundreds of the neediest children and families, and for giving love and support where little existed. We are pleased this evening to honor Terrie Rose with the 2011 Lewis Hines Award for professional service to children and youth. Congratulations, Terrie, and thank you for all you do for so many in the community. I think you will all agree that the people you've met this evening are truly remarkable American heroes. Your work, whether volunteer or professional, is improving the well-being of children, strengthening families, and bringing a brighter future for us all. Before I ask Jeff to come back up for some closing remarks, I'd like to ask everyone in the audience to give this group one last standing ovation. Now I'd like to turn it back over to Jeff for some closing remarks.
Thanks, Bill. Each year, it's always a special treat to meet what we consider some of the most important people in our nation who work under the radar but over the top. Congratulations once again to all of you. It goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway, that we need to give special thanks to the NCLC Board of Directors. You've met our chair, Eric Butler, but other board members are here too, and I wish you would stand and say hello. All of our board members who are here. They include Bob Carey and Libby Calloway, retired Ambassador Jim Stewart, Dr. Michael Cohen, Tracy Brown James, Gertrude Lenzer, and Christus Health CEO Tom Royer, whose support and contribution to NCLC the past year has been extraordinary. Thanks to each and every one of you, and don't forget our board meeting tomorrow morning in this hotel at 10 a.m., room 1409. Yeah, probably. You're bringing them? To all of the corporations you see listed on the inside cover of your book, their commitment and support are the lifeblood of this program and our work and of our work, and we are very grateful to all of them. To writer Randy Burgess, who wrote much of the wonderful book you have before you, and to Rick Fiala, stuck in Georgia, the graphic design guru who has designed our book brilliantly and distinctively for more than a decade. To Bob and Jeff at StarCraft Press, who for many years have put our book together and done it so well, thanks so much. Then, of course, to NCLC staff and consultants, Amy Goldstein, C. Choi, PR wizard Joyce Appleman, her colleague Nina Gerard, our finance manager Joel Charles, and the person who really gets this aircraft off the ground, NCLC Vice President Susan Ladner. Thanks aren't really enough, but we'll have to do for now. And for certain, to all of you who are here tonight helping to honor and give recognition to these remarkable people. I believe that this is a night to remember and to carry with you. Thank you so much for coming, and we'll see you next year.